matov u'manaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how sweet, when we live in peace. How good, how sweet, when we live in peace. Everyone, everywhere, round the world. Hine matov u'manaim. Hine matov u'manaim. She'eved achim gam yachad. How good, how sweet, when we live in peace. How good, how sweet, when we live in peace. Everyone, everywhere, round the world. Hine matov u'manaim. Hine matov u'manaim.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
How good it is when we are able to come together, be together as a community, families sitting with one another, friends coming together to welcome in Shabbat in a world where, praying for peace feels, it's definitely something we are yearning for in our world, even though we know that we are not living in a peaceful world at this moment. I and my family, we know that decently well. 2 weeks ago, we were in Jerusalem celebrating Shabbat amidst all of that, and we left on Thursday afternoon about 14 hours before the war with Iran started, as scheduled, just complete coincidence, the timing of that, but I know that when I'm not in this space, my mind is all over the place, and yet so I want us to, for myself personally, but for all of us to be able to find the opportunity to focus in, for us to be able to take some deep breaths, to sing, to find some joy, and to welcome Shabbat together as a community. As a reminder, just because we are still kind of new to these summer hours and some of the extra pieces that we have for our young ones, we have over here in this corner an alley for our littlest ones with some opportunities for quiet play with parents, and there's some books and some padded furniture and stuff for our littlest ones. If you need any help with how to use it, I'm sure my son Nathan will happily tell you everything about it. And then we also have for older children, there's some fidget bags, busy bags in the back as well, if you need something for your hands to help keep them busy so that your mind can help focus in on our service. So welcome Shabbat with lighting our Shabbat candles. Anyone want to come light Shabbat candles with me? Anyone can come on up and light with us?
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzifanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And so we welcome Shabbat officially with candle lighting. We welcome it spiritually. Singing Lecha Dodi on page 20. We'll do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, we will rise and face the entrance to welcome the Shabbat bride into our midst.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Ishmi anu el hamirchad. Adonai echad shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lekuven elcha, kichi mikor kaveracha, mirosh mikedem nisuka, sof machase v'machafatzak nila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Itorari, kiva orek umiri, uri shudaberi, kivon Adonai el alek nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, kam b'simcha v'tola, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
Well, I want to take you a moment. I know that some of you sat down. I want to take a moment. We've welcomed Shabbat in all the ways possible. We need to welcome each other. Just take a moment. Someone who did not come in the same car with you, someone you've not said hello to yet this Shabbat evening, please introduce yourself and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. We continue now on page 26 with Reader's Kaddish as we transition into our evening service.
Yid Gedal, Yid Kedash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen. Please rise.
Bi'alma divrach Yerutei, Bi'amlik Malchutei, Bechayechon uv'yochomechon, uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, Bagala, uv'isman kahariv, v'meru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam le'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabat, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalahol, shemei kudusha brihu, le'elamim kol berachata v'shihirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, dahamiran v'alma, v'meru. Amen.
Our words for Baruch Am I Awake can be found on the back of your Friday flyer. Page 28.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Lie, 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 Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'ed Le'olam Ba'ed Yedalai Lai Lai 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 Yedalai Lai Lai.
You may be seated. We read together on the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Page 32 on the bottom in English. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema, page 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you gently unto your children. And you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up. You shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you shall remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Thank you. It's in the HVAC area. You can see the candle kind of, you know. This is how you know it's cold in here, because the HVAC is working, and we're all very grateful for that. We think of being in a world torn by violence and pain, and we read together this beautiful poem of our ability to, how we can live in that world together, at the bottom of page 39, responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. We're actually going to sing Miriam's song today, which is in the back on page, this is where I forgot to actually look, it's 300 and something. Give me 1 second.
Like 342, maybe?
Yeah, 342 sounds right. 342 is right.
Ding,
there you
ding,
go, Blake.
ding.
Blake gets some brownie points today.
And the women dancing with their timbals followed Miriam as she sang a song. Sing a song, the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove, which one would sing our history? With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit as she danced towards a light. And the women dancing with their timbals followed Miriam as she sang a song. Sing a song, the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. When Miriam stood up on the shore and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she took into belief. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbals followed Miriam as she sang a song. Sing a song, the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We just left you a miracle, we're gonna dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbals followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to one whom we've exalted. Merry man, the women dance and dance all night long. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'eda b'kodesh, Torah tehilot o sefer, Torah tehilot o sefer.
Take a moment now, everyone, let's take a deep breath. Neshima Amuka, a deep breath to help center our spirits. We turn back to page 42, prayer of Hashkivenu, a prayer asking for a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace over us and over our people, over the city of Jerusalem, especially in these fraught days for all of us. The words can also again be found on the back of your Friday flyer.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Hamideinu Shomrenu L'Chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Hamideinu Shomrenu L'Chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Hamideinu Shomrenu
Page 44, Yismechu, our song of rejoicing on this Shabbat, giving us this opportunity to focus in on the delight that it is for us to be in the sacred time and sacred space with friends and family.
Yisbehu b'malakuteha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Gori Onei Shabbat Yisbehu b'malakuteha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Gori Onei Shabbat Mikadashei, Mikadashei Shari Shabbat Kulam Yismehu V'yitangu B'tevecha Shabbat Yismehu B'malekutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Gori Onei Shabbat Yismehu B'malekutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat Gori Onei Shabbat V'hashri'i Razitabo B'dasho Shabbat Emdad Yamim Oto Karata Shabbat Yismechu Malekutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Vekori, Oneg Shabbat, Yisbechu, Malekutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Vekori, Oneg Shabbat, Zeher Lemachaseh, Lemachaseh Vareshi Shabbat, Zeher Lemachaseh, Lemachaseh Vareshi Shabbat, Yismechu, Malekutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Vekori, Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu, Malekutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat Vekori, Oneg Shabbat.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We now move into the Amidah, our central portion of our prayer service, on pages 46, 48, 50, and 52. And we will do Atah Kadosh with the words in the back of our Friday flyer. And afterwards, we'll give you the opportunity for silent prayer, either the prayers of our prayer book or the prayers of our heart, and all of the things that we know that we need and our world needs. We ask that you rise now, if you're able, page 48, 46.
Adonai sifatai tivtak uhufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohe Avotenu v'Imoteinu, Elohe Avraham, Elohe Yitzhak, Elohe Yaakov, Elohe Sarah, Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rachel, Elohe Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasei Avot V'Imaod, Umevi Gula Lifnei V'nechem, Lemachan Shemo Be'achava, Melech Oseh Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Zrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rafa Goshiach, Morid Hatal, Mekalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Sohomech Loflim Berofei Oholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekahaye Emunato, Lishene Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Mehelach, Melech Meimit Umekahaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah v'kayod hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh, v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom, Ya'alelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh, you are holy, and your name is holy. Those who strive to be holy, declare your glory day by day. Blessed is our God. Blessed is the one. O world ablaze with splendor. Ata kadosh. Bishimcha kadosh. Ukdoshim b'kol yom. Ya'alelu selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Say shalom bimromav, uya say shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, uya say shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, uya say shalom aleinu. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
About 25 years or so ago, an Israeli named Yosef Kardner wrote a really beautiful setting to Psalm 121. I lift my eyes up to the mountain. From where will my help come? My help comes from God, maker of heaven and earth. In this tune, it's like weird to me that it's only 25 years old. It's one of those tunes that feels like it's somewhat eternal. It's a tune that has been covered by pretty much every major Israeli musician you can possibly think of, and is still sung throughout the Israeli world, whether you are Haredi, whether you are a Reform Jew somewhere in the middle, or any across the entire religious spectrum. It is sung by Chilonim, by secular Jews, as kind of an anthem of peace and help in difficult times. So I will sing it for us. This is a listening moment.
The words are in your flyer.
Are they? Oh, they are in your flyer on the bottom. Shir lemalot esainai el heharim mehayin yavo Ezri mehim Adonai Ose shamayim v'haaretz Al yiten lamot raglecha Al yanun shomrecha Hine lo yanum Velo yishan Shomer Yisrael Adonai Shomrecha Adonai Tzilcha Al Yad Yeminecha Yomam HaShemesh Lo Yechecha V'yoreach Balayla Adonai Yishmorcha Mikol Raha nafshecha Adonai yishmor tzecha uvorecha me'ata me'ad olam Shir lemalot esainai el heharim me'hayin yavo Mehim Adonai Ose shamayim v'haaretz Al yiten lamot raglecha Al yanun shomrecha Hine lo yanum velo yishan Shomer Yisrael Adonai Tzilcha Al Yad Yeminecha Yomam HaShemesh Lo Yechecha V'yoreach Balayla Adonai Yishmorcha Mikol Raha Yishmor et nafshecha Adonai yishmor tzeitcha uvoecha me'ata me'ad olam me'ata me'ad olam As we think of our friends and family in Israel and of the Iranian people deserving of a government worthy of their beautiful history and tradition, and of our Persian Jewish community, some members of our community itself, but also of the hundreds of thousands of Persian Jews who fled and the 9,000 to 10,000 or so who still live in Iran. Prayers of healing, hopes for a better future for all of us. Take a moment now for Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, page 253. We think of course, the individuals in our community who also are in need of healing, of mind, of body, of spirit. Gary Atkins, Jack Berger, Betty Berlin, Yvonne Binns, Danny Bastian, Isidore Cohen, Andy Concool, Ainsley Davis, Stephen Despins, Bob Gans, Bob Getlin, Joshua Gilly, Pat Grogg, Rick Hack, Julia Hall, Chris Healy, Blanchie Howell, Opal Howell, Sam Howell, Bernice Hurwitz, Linda Jenkins, Jamie Leaf, Samara Lingefelter, Dorothy London, Paul Melnick, Esther Mitchell, Simone Neiman, Joyce Newman, Peggy Packer, Stanley Palmer, Rob Rasnick, Lisa Schaefer, Joan Schwartz, Becky Cernovitz, Nicole Aronson Silverman, Alice Singer, Arthur Slutza, Richard Slutza, Randy Suchke, Charlene Venner, and Keith West. If there are other names that you'd like to add to our community's prayers, please you may do so at this time. Page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Tenu, Mikor Abraka, Leavo Tenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Our Torah portion this week begins with the story of the 12 spies. The 12 individuals, the leaders of each of the tribes who were sent into the land of Israel to check it out. After making out of Egypt, journeying, the experience at Sinai, there they stood on the edge of the land of Israel, ready to enter, and so they sent some scouts in to say, let's see how it's going. How are things in Israel? The scouts come back, and it is as described, a land flowing of milk and honey. It is beautiful, it is lush, it is everything that God said. And then 10 of the 12 tribes add a nice little and. Nice little and. There are people there who we didn't expect. Maybe God didn't describe. Some were large in number and seemed warlike. Others were described as Anakim, giants. A part of them were also that they believed there's a word Nephilim, that those who, as if they fell from heaven, almost as if they were kind of like this massive giants who where could they possibly have come from? Not from the earth we know of. And that is kind of what they looked at. This information, and Moses and God in that moment kind of said, well, this is the moment that's going to lead us into the wilderness to wander for another 38 plus years, until those who did not know right from those who were of age did not remember slavery, did not know of the torments of the past, and only would be able to move forward. It's a very interesting moment. It kind of sets us off for the rest of the Torah. If the Exodus had only lasted for like a year or two on the hike from Egypt to Israel, that would also be kind of like a big moment. I don't know if the 40 years in the desert kind of becomes a thing for us. And there they were, eventually able, a generation later, to enter into the land that they wanted, that they were told they were given. Kind of feel a bit like a scout, having spent 9-ish days, give or take, in Israel a week and a half ago. Was able to go with the family Two of my cousins who live in Dunwoody, their B'nai Mitzvah was in Sfat on June 5th. So left right after Shavuot and flew, and there I was, standing in Ben Gurion Airport. Things kind of seeming all normal, all natural. This is kind of like what Israel feels like, especially when you fly in on an El Al flight, where the service is not always so good. Things felt normal. Then you walk down the ramp, this like famous ramp in the hall. There's kind of two competing ramps as you go. In that ramp and on the side are the pictures of the hostages, and every single one. And you realize things are different. That's my report. That's Israel. Everything and nothing is the same. But I'll say a bit more. I have three kind of moments or things that I want to kind of sort of key in on. For many of the people who are living in Israel, day to day, 9 to 5, if you will, about 6.5 days a week, things are actually as normal as one could possibly be given all the varying circumstances. They wake up, they'll go for a run on the beach, or they'll go work out, they'll have their breakfast and their coffee, they go to work, they go hang out with friends afterwards at a restaurant, etc. They go home, sleep, wash, rinse, repeat. Day-to-day life. People have their jobs. Those who are of military age, who are not full-time in the army, they have miluim, which is like kind of the reserve duty, which for some people, depending upon your role, is kind of like a thing you do a day or two a week, or some people will go for a week or two to serve and then we'll come back for 6 weeks. It kind of depends upon your unit. But again, like day in and day out, so many things feel normal. So we're walking down Yaffo by the Shuk in Jerusalem. Kids are out on the streets playing. Okay, people are in the grocery stores buying food. People are in restaurants enjoying themselves. People are in the park playing. Things at times feel totally normal. And then on Saturday evening, there are large gatherings at Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, which is across from the main military headquarters outside of the Museum of Art in Tel Aviv, or in Kikar Tzarfat, French Square in Jerusalem, basically right outside of the street on which the Prime Minister's residence stands. In the heart of Jerusalem, it happens to be the neighborhood where Sarah and I and many HUC students every year live, because it's about a 5-minute walk from HUC's campus there in Jerusalem. They have these large gatherings of protests that feel like a collective scream. For 6.5 days, things are normal. They hold it together. And then for, a couple hours on Saturday evening, there is this like huge release. It's sad. It's heart-wrenching. At times it's very empowering. It's a really beautiful thing, especially in Jerusalem, where it's a very religiously diverse group of speakers and people who participate in these protests. And to hear the catchphrases and the slogans and using some of our most important religious language as a part of the difficulties of this moment. And so there I was, standing on Saturday evening at the end of Shabbat in Jerusalem 2 weeks ago for that week's rally to kind of go and see and hear. And they have a ritual that they have been doing every week where they recite the name of every hostage, and afterwards they say, Habaita Akshav, home now. When I was there, it was 55 times, Habaita Akshav, a name. Habaita Akshav, a name. Thousands of people screaming. Depending upon the week, sometimes these they only gather a few tens of thousands, these protests across the country. They're the two main ones, but there are others throughout in smaller cities and throughout the country. On certain weeks, they will draw hundreds of thousands of people collectively throughout the country. The hostages are deeply important to the people of Israel. That is no surprise to anyone. And that is first and foremost on the minds of many, many, many people. It's not a surprise. There is a dark cloud that hangs over the lives of everyone. When we're out hanging out with friends or talking with professors, there's a sadness. There's a fatigue of the empathy, from all that empathy that has been expressed for 623 days, I believe, is today. So that's one part of life. The second part of life is like the beauty of Israel. My cousin's Bnei Mitzvah was in Tzfat, and there we were able to walk the ancient streets of our people. See that in Tzfat? In Jerusalem, we did, for those of you who've been to Jerusalem before and you've been into the Old City, into the Kotel, they have what's called the Kotel Tunnel Tours. There's been this tour that's been the same since I was a teenager and went for the first time when I was 15, forever ago. And it's that same tour where it kind of ends. And they actually, because of excavations, there's actually a new tour that opened in the last few months. There's archaeology happening. And so we, the family, the four of us, we did this tour where you're actually, the old bridge that would take you up to the Temple Mount, that is now mostly covered by homes and kind of buried underground. You're kind of walking perpendicular to the Temple Mount, and you kind of end at the Western Wall. It's a beautiful tour, a really wonderful guide. There's a room inside where they have it, and they have a beautiful lighting set up, so kind of like you push a button and it goes throughout the ages, and it goes back, and they look and they say, that foundation down there is the very first temple period, which is nearing 3,000 years old. In every generation, the Romans is a part of the second temple period. Eventually you have the Mamelukes and Crusades, and again, layer and layer and layer, and then at the very end, they're like, and this is what we did to make the room safe, at the very, very top. Things just feel so beautiful as you walk these streets. They're magical. It's an amazing place to be able to see the history, to wander, to walk. Those of you who know me well enough know how much I love old clay pottery and stones. The only reason to take Nathan and the kids there was to kind of start indoctrinating them with this 2,000-year-old stone that, of course, is deeply important, and you will understand that one day because I say so. And so we're able to still go to Israel and see the beauty of our history and our heritage. And the third thing is, I was talking with a former coworker of my wife's who we became friends with when she worked in the Hillel University. This was a shlicha who worked with her at Rutgers University. I don't know, when was this? I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, give or take. And as we were talking, I could hear, there was a difference in language. And she, having a lot of experience, she's now a tour guide, and so she works a lot with Americans and has always, over the last 10, 15 years, and we kind of have been having a conversation back and forth there in Israel, and it's continued of the differences in the Israeli community and the American Jewish community, and in some ways the American community. In our reactions and our responses to this moment. And I asked her what her message was, and she kind of said, and this is kind of the third thing that really stands out to me when we have this conversation, is how tied into all of these conversations is the internal politics of the state of Israel. As much as we want to say everything is about the hostages, where that is, for the average individual, that is the forefront of mind. There are yellow ribbons everywhere. On car doors, there are flags, there are sculptures that were cars that were from the Nova Festival and others that were destroyed in the South that are now placed on the side of the highway that have been painted yellow, and people update the number every time someone comes home as a countdown. You're driving down Kvish 6, down the interstate between Haifa and Tel Aviv, and there they are. You see them every so often. I mean, there are reminders everywhere. We stayed in a Druze village, and what's on the billboard? Images of the Druze Arab community who were either held hostage, members of the Druze Arab community who served in the military and the IDF who died over the last 2 years as a part of the war in Gaza. I mean, this is like everywhere. And so that's what you want to think. That's what's there. But there's this other piece of the internal politics of Israel, which are having a really hard moment, a really, really difficult moment. 2 weeks ago, the day before we left, there was actually a vote to potentially dissolve the government. Did not pass. It did show how on razor's edge Benjamin Netanyahu's government is, on how close to the not being in power he is. And you would think, what's the issue? Is it how the war is going? Is it that the hostages aren't home? Nope, that's not what almost brought down the government. What almost brought down the government was the conscription of ultra-Orthodox Haredi Jews into the military. Something that has been, I mean, this is like an eternal conversation. When I lived there 12, 13 years ago, there was actually, at that point in time, there was a deal made that then brought out protests. I mean, here we are. It's the same conversation over and over and over again. So as much as like there's this big thing hanging over us, hanging over our people, this dark cloud that kind of hovers over every individual. And in the midst of this beautiful place where we can see how, Tel Aviv 125 years ago was just a bunch of sand. And to be able to go and to have a thriving city with cultural institutions and great restaurants, all of these places of our people over the last thousands of years. In the midst of all this, we also still have a democracy. A government as flawed as democracy can be, with its struggles to figure out what is next. How will it hold on? What is its guiding light? There are people who, when I spent my time at that Saturday night protest, you would think the banners are all about Hamas. You would think it is send our hostages back, Hamas. The anger is not about Hamas in Israel right now, at least not with those who show up to the vast majority of those protests. After 600 days, it's the government. It's Benjamin Netanyahu. His name is the one that's on the posters. Anytime his name was mentioned from the stage, or some member of the government was mentioned from the stage, thousands of people start chanting, Busha, shame. There is a collective anger amongst our people there. I'm not wanting to leave you with this heaviness. The hard piece of this is because, honestly, it was a really beautiful trip for us. I know that 14 hours after we left, things changed significantly. We're very grateful to have made it out. My cousins and family that are in Dunwoody, many of them are still in Herzliya, spending their days near the house and at the beach, and in parks, and hanging out with family, and at nighttime, getting ready to usually go near the miklat or the ma'amad, the safe room or the bomb shelter because of the next salvo from Iran. But what's amazing is the spirit of the Israeli people. In the midst of everything that has happened in the last week in this war with Iran, the Iranian regime, in many places, yes, people are trying to get out of Israel. The 30,000 something tourists, many of those are trying to get out of Israel. And they're working to get them flights, and some people are going to Jordan, as happened with a trip from the Temple. 19 people, including Rabbi Berg, they found their way through Jordan to Amman and found a few flights, and it took them a long time, but made their way home yesterday or the day before. Many people, those who are not Israelis, are trying to get out. So the thing I'll leave you with is we were in London on our way back, and we were hanging out in a square right next to, Sarah did study abroad there in London. We were hanging out in a square, letting the kids run around. We were kind of figuring out our next steps. And all of a sudden, Sarah says, psst. Psst. What? we somehow found in the corner of the square 4 Israelis sitting right behind Sarah and I at the table. These kind of little tables for 2, if you will, in the corner of this large square. So we started to chat them up, of course. And they were eager to get back. 150, give or take, 1,000 Israelis living outside the land of Israel right now, whether they were traveling or with family or on other trips, are eager to get back. Because it's family. Because it's home. Because the images are devastating. And what do we do when our family are hurting? When our friends are hurting, we run to help. There's a deep abiding spirit that exists in our Israeli friends and family that exists in us too. For us to have this ability to run towards our problems, to those in need, to those, honestly, we've only met just for a little bit. That's the societal fabric that exists in Israel. You just help. Every kid is your kid. Every grandparent, I can assure you, felt like they were Nathan and Pearl's grandparents on that trip in that country. We're there on the train, and they could see that we had 3 bags and a stroller and 2 kids and whatever, and a guy just said, "I'll take your bag." Just grabbed my bag and just took it. Walked away, put it right on the train for me. And I said, "Thank you," and he said, "Of course." This is what it means to be a part of a people. When our lives are difficult, when our hearts are heavy, our minds are confused and dazed with what we see in front of us, we look for help. And thank God we know that we have that in the faces of all the people we have around us. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 282.
Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekedu l'yotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu yeharatzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam kelkenu kachem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei Melech Malkei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech Al Kol Haaretz Bayom Ahu Yeh Adonai Echad Ushemo Ushemo Echad.
You may be seated. Turn to page 294 for Mourner's Kaddish. We're thinking of those who are in our 11-month Kaddish list, those who this is the first year, still in the first year since their passing. Kitty Cohen, Layla Kaminer, Richard Barker, Deborah Brandt Singerman, Paul Zale, Joseph Jerome Cantor, Marjorie Romes, Jerry Frost, Helene Graboff, Bruce Antonoff, Sawyer Heller, Bowen Heller, Madeline Seidman, Karen Jacoby Silverman, Harry Roth, Jeff Simon, Doris Goodman, Beverly Stolman, Carol Lids, Robin Fern Weinstein, Jack Strauss, Arthur Holzheimer. Thinking of those as well who this is their yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing. Herbert Aronoff, Dale Baruchman, Elizabeth Burchenko, Jeanette Balatin, Louis Cohen, Sandy Cohen, Stephen Fetter, Mary Helen Foster, Lori Higelman, Sigrid Holzer, Sanford Juntoff, Bertrand Kossoff, William Lerner Jr., Louis Light, Moses Max, Joseph Rich, Bessie Rittman, Muriel Sheps, Faye Siegel, Penny Solomon. If there's a name you'd like to add, or if I mispronounced the name of a loved one, please may do so at this time. At Temple Kol Emeth, we rise to support our mourners as we recite Kaddish, page 294.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach kirutei v'amlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudisha b'richu. Le'olamim kol birchata v'shirata. Tushvechata v'nechemata. Tamiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May all their memories be a blessing. Amen. You may be seated. Now invite up Congregational President, second to last time as Congregational President, Sandy Davis, for some announcements.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
For decades, Kol Emeth has partnered with Family Promise to support families experiencing homelessness. Our next host week begins July 21st with 2 or 3 families staying at the Doc Lebo Center. And we need volunteers to help make it happen. Whether you prepare a meal, offer evening hospitality, or take on the big mitzvah of staying overnight, even one contribution makes a meaningful impact. The link for more details and to sign up will be in Sunday's Tekiah. On July 12th, we're coming together to build 100 kids kits to help feed local children through Mus Ministries. Each kit provides a full week of breakfast, lunch, snacks, and drinks for a child who might otherwise go without. And while we're excited to pack them together, we still need individuals and families to help sponsor the kits so we can buy all the necessary food. It's just $12 to sponsor a bag, and even 1 or 2 makes a real difference. Use the QR code on your printed program to RSVP or sponsor a bag today. Let's make sure every kid gets the nourishment they need this summer. Shabbat Shalom.
They missed me. So as we starting this new tradition with our children here in the sanctuary, we want to invite anyone who is not yet be mitzvah, all of our children to come to the floor here. We need a few volunteers to help hold a talit over them. You were handed out a half sheet, blessing for our children that we're going to say, so we're going to recite the second. So I need a few adults, 4 or 8 adults, to come help hold the talitot. Come, don't be shy, don't be shy, don't be shy, adults. I'll stand here. I have patience, ending patience. Children, come forward, children, come forward. Elliot, let's roll. There are a couple other children. Where'd my new friend go? Either went home or got a diaper change. Who knows? We'll find out. Waiting for Elliot. Where's Eliza? She peaced out too. She went home. Yeah. Rising second grader. She just hopped in the car and just drove. Yeah, right. You need. So we'll all say it together, the entire community. So you should have your half sheet. Oh. Hey, okay. Pearl stole yours. Sit down. Pearl listens, that's nice. Yeah, Liza, come. You gotta show off the cowboy boots, I dig it. Okay. Be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you and guide you. May God show you kindness, help you feel good about who you are, lead you to joy and happiness, and support you as you seek a lifetime of love, kindness, community, and peace. And the kids all say amen. Nathan, say amen. Perfect. Amazing. Elliot, we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi. Do you want some challah? She says amen from the back corner. I dig it. I love it. We'll conclude our service with Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho behava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila v'mikrae kodesh Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Ki vanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta Min kol ha'amim V'shabbat kodshecha Be'achava uratzon Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. There is challah and kiddush in the lobby for everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.